Hi, and welcome to Sycamore Client Manager tutorial on creating list views. A list view is a saved filter and allows you to see smaller sections of your data. We're going to go to Accounts, and we're going to create a list view to show clients in a certain state, and then clients within a certain city. This information can then be used for any type of list view that you may need. So from accounts, I'm looking at all accounts. So if I click go, I can see that I have 1,841 accounts. Okay, so I want to narrow that down and I want to see clients just in New York. So I'm going to create a list view. I'm going to name the list view. And I'm going to start to build my criteria. So we're going to come down here to the field column and we're going to select the first field. And the first field generally is going to tell you what type of account that you want to see. So we're going to say type equals, and here you have different operators. It does default to equal, which is the one that we want. And the value, we do have a lookup here to show us the different values that are available in the type field. So we're going to select client. You may want to also select spouse there if you want to include the spouse, and that depends on how you track your clients if you do separate them by spouse. So you can include that in the same selection. When you include them on the same field like this, then it does put an or between them. So that means that the type would be client or spouse. And then we're going to come down and we're going to tell it the city. Now you do need to know that the city field for your client accounts is mailing city. I'm sorry, we're first going to do state. So mailing state equals, and then New York. It does have to be exact, so you have to know if you put your data in with NY or if you spell out New York. If you're not sure, you could do another line and say mailing state equals New York and spell it out. In that case, you would have to change the operator, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So I'm going to leave it with that criteria. Type equals client or spouse, and mailing state equals New York. Now down below in step 3, we see the fields or the columns that we want to see when we go into this particular list. So the account name would be the name of the account, of course. The account site we're going to remove, so I'm going to highlight it and click remove. The primary state, now we don't want primary state, we want mailing state, so we're going to remove that. Phone number's fine, the type is fine, and the owner is fine. So now we're going to locate mailing. These are generally in alphabetical order, so we're going to go to mailing state. And click add. And we're going to put mailing city over there as well. You can then change the order by moving them up or down. Click save. And that's going to take us right into that list view. So now we're looking at clients in New York. And we can see that we have 5. Okay, now we have 3 in Hamburg, Orchard Park, and Buffalo. So now I'm going to go in and edit my list view. And I'm going to add to this. And I'm going to say mailing city equals Hamburg. Now at this point, we would want to edit this as well in the name. And we can click Save or Save As. If we click Save, we will no longer have clients in New York. We will only have clients in Hamburg, New York. If we click Save As, then we will have both. So now we can see how that has narrowed down the list to 3. And if I go back into my list view, I still have clients in New York, which is still showing me the 5. Let's add another criteria to this list view. And let's say that we want to see our clients in Hamburg and Buffalo. So I'm going to go into my, I'm going to start with my list view for clients in Hamburg. And I'm going to click Edit. And I'm going to come down and add another line here, another row. So I'm going to say mailing city. And I'm going to say Buffalo equals Buffalo. But in this case, I'm going to go into add filter logic. Now by default, each row is connected with an AND operator, which means that all of the conditions need to be true for it to be displayed in our results. But in this case, we want either 3 or 4 to be true, so it can't be both cities. So I'm going to go in and change the AND to an OR. When I do that, I need to put the 3 and 4 in parentheses. It does give you a little explanation here as to how you can use these different operators. But generally, when you're looking at information within the same field, you're going to want to separate them with an OR. And then you make the decision whether you want to rename this list view or overwrite the existing one. Remember, if you want to rename it, you're going to click Save. If you want to add it as well as keep the Hamburg one, then you would click Save As. So now you can see that we have both. So now we've narrowed this down to show us both cities, Hamburg and Buffalo. And that is how you create and use list views. Thank you.